If you don't know me yet from any previous learning sessions, my name is Bashi Mehta, and I'm a QuickSight Specialist Solution Architect. And so really excited to share with all of you today an overview on QuickSight. And I'm joined by a few colleagues to help answer some of the questions, and I think that's one of the greatest benefits of joining us live today. And so with that, let's dive into the agenda and take a moment here. So what we have planned for today is QuickSight has really grown over the last 2 years. And so we're going to start by showing the direction of where we're headed. And then we're going to cover holistically what you can get out of QuickSight and the value that comes from it. And then at the end, we'll give a demo and go over the questions that have been answered in the entered into the community page. The volume data available is growing exponentially each year. And so here we have statistics about IDC estimated that 98 zettabytes of data was created in 2022. This is really exciting, but with all the optimism and promise of the value that data can bring, research has actually shown that organizations are still struggling to leverage the power of data across their organizations. So getting those answers for your business questions is still a challenge. And in that attempt of being data-driven, about 25% of organizations use 10 or more BI platforms, which is so many. And then 61% uses about 4 or more, and then 86 use about 2 or more. And that amount is a lot of licensing, maintenance costs, and not only to talk about the data complexities, but also really confusing for your users on which platform to go to in order to answer a business question. BI adoption is still around 20% in organizations, and so as this adoption number has been stagnant over the past few decades. The big part of the problem of why so many tools is that BI consumers are not all alike and have different needs. And so as we mentioned, of like, for example, in the previous statistics about having like almost tens or even many more than that, it's because each user has a different operational need for this. And so for an example, an analysis may need easy, simple ways to analyze and share those insights with others. A functional lead might want to know when to take action, while an operational user might want to just dive deeper and be able to do drill downs and schedule those reports. An executive wanting key metrics and highlights on the go. A functional user would want to maybe explore the data, and a application user would want in-context insights. And so this is how, over the years, we've seen a lot of different communities as well as different companies adopt a slew of products or in-house development for their own different data layers, which includes a lot of legacy architectures, custom code, creeping in and trying to meet according to the needs of these wide variety of different users that we just talked about. But that burden of development and maintenance often falls into our IT and engineering, who have the added responsibility of ensuring governance and security. So instead of spending time empowering end users and making data-driven decisions, they spend their time on building and maintaining, which is why we've introduced Amazon QuickSight. So this is our complete unified BI solution that caters to all of our users, both within our organization and with your customers. As we talked about already in the past, we have a diversity of BI use cases and date formats needed, which has resulted in a fragmented approach when it comes to using multiple systems and versions of truth. But with Amazon QuickSight, instead of struggling to work with disjointed legacy systems, BI authors and developers can use just one unified modern solution, and that's Amazon QuickSight. And so this allows you to author the entire experience from data connections to data prep, to analysis, to dashboards, insights, and deliver in multiple forms of delivery, including interactive dashboards, paginated reports, Q natural queries, and embedding. And all this is done with our powerful, easy-to-use UI-based authoring and a rich suite of embedding capabilities and APIs, where builders can build faster at accelerated time to insights. And so what do we mean by being able to accelerate insights in a timely manner? And so to illustrate what that looks like, as you can see, the burden of managing BI systems. So we can look closely at the different various administration tasks required to keep a traditional BI system up and running. So here, for an example, having to deal with scaling, or having to make sure about memory, or having to do different maintenance, different automatic patching, and all those along those lines. And here you can see that AWS actually takes care of the rest of those. And so instead of having to follow traditional BI systems where you need to do these various administration tasks to keep it up and running, Our serverless Amazon QuickSight removes that burden of managing a number of these tasks, including automated insights, scaling, upgrades, high availability, just to name a few of those, as you can see being taken care of, only leaving you with the tasks that you need to focus on. So for examples, pay-as-you-go model, your access and sharing logic, as well as your metric design and how you decide to want to make your application look like. And so with that, QuickSight responds to demand in real time in a way that legacy architectures can't. So even if there are servers on the cloud, QuickSight serverless auto-scaling architecture ensures high performance regardless of demand. So the demand is never static. Legacy architectures are built on the concept that servers are often in the state of overcapacity or undercapacity since it cannot move in proportion to demand. With overcapacity, you end up paying more, and with undercapacity, your system and user experience suffers. Even if the servers are on the cloud, you are still expecting to size for a certain usage, and this is often oversizing the accommodations for best case scenario. So as the usage and complexity increases, a lot of organizations on legacy tools get poor performance, requiring the provisioning of additional resources. The process of adding these resources is pretty cumbersome, with the hidden infrastructure cost and overhead, and even if new resources are added. This only lasts till the next performance peak. Versus with Amazon QuickSight, it's built on this serverless cloud native architecture. If there is one thing you're going to get from today's session is me repeating this multiple times. And what this means is that our customers, you don't have to pay for the resources you don't use. You don't have to worry about licenses. You don't have to look into servers. You can move from fixed cost to variable cost. And so from a more traditional IT procurement to a cloud procurement process. And so you don't have to worry. It just works for you. You're not overpaying. Your users are waiting on load times, or not having to wait on load times. And so this is why it's really important to just understand how QuickSight is built, because it lets you then focus on what you really want to do, is what you can and how you can build with QuickSight. And so starting off first, data from anywhere. So Amazon QuickSight lets you connect to all of your data wherever it is. So QuickSight is natively integrated with AWS data sources, as well as on-premise and hosted databases and third-party business applications. We're then able to make it performant ready. So customers can leverage QuickSight's proprietary high-performing data engine. So SPICE, which stands for Super Fast Parallel In-Memory Calculation Engine. And what this does, it allows you to accelerate the performance of running queries directly. So think of it almost as a cache layer is the best way of what it represents. It saves a snapshot of your data within QuickSight, versus there's also the other option where you can directly run against your data source. And so this allows you to just pull directly from your data source, and recommended when you're working with real-time data solutions. And when going about this, you can also do a combination of both. So you can use some Spice data and direct query data. I've even seen it where customers have almost parallel had running both of them at the same time to just show that comparison of seeing the engine speed as well as being able to get a holistic view of all the information that you have. And then you can also connect to multiple different data sources. So it doesn't have to be only from, for an example, S3 or Redshift. You can connect it to both of them at the same time and be able to combine and be able to create these different joins across multiple different data sources. Now we can lead into powerful analytics. So QuickSight's analytics layer enables for historical analysis, automate built-in ML insights, forecasting, anomalies, or SageMaker integration to be able to bring in your own ML models. And so all of this makes it very intuitive and easy to use UI-based workflows. And we'll talk a bit more deeper of how that is a bit more intuitive and the different things that you can do with our pre-built-in ML insights. Now, BI for everyone. So these insights can be delivered to everyone in multiples of ways, from interactive dashboards or visual embedding in applications and websites, natural language querying, and paginated reports to meet all of your business needs across all users. Which leads into being able to include intelligent activation, of being able to deliver modern BI across your organization. So being able to migrate and consolidate your BI stack, embed analytics into your application and products, or build an entirely new data product. And Amazon QuickSight just really helps you activate that intelligence across all of your users, regardless of whether that's internal, external, and other use cases. So if you use QuickSight 2 years ago, you can probably see that there's been a dramatic shift in the way that QuickSight looks today, even with how the UI experience is as well. We're improving functionality there. We see that we launched it in 2017, and in that beginning, we were really focused on building a solid foundation that is serverless, a hyperscale, which most tools don't have. And with that foundation in place, that allowed us to be able to bring analytics for everyone. So we were able to build out these different usage pricings. Then afterwards, introduce ML insights, dashboard embedding. We've got to introduce machine learning capabilities of Q through in 2020 with natural language queries, being able to add alerts, personalization, and so on and so forth to the point where we are now, which everyone's really excited about, which is our generative BI capabilities and much more. And so with that, we've rolled out various forms, and especially within this last year, we've just seen such a huge growth within QuickSight as a whole. There's 4 specific key product areas that are within Amazon QuickSight and the focus of what we'll be going through today with each of these different pieces. So starting with our enterprise BI capabilities. So being able to have more visual options, interactivity, govern data access, and personalization. We then have our augmented analytics with machine learning and natural language, being able to include faster insights, which is aided with AWS's advanced machine learning capabilities, which we'll dive a bit deeper into later. And then lastly, we have our enterprise reporting in the cloud with our paginated reports, scheduled reports, which you can do via email or within an S3 bucket. As for our 4th piece, we have our embedded analytics for ISV and enterprises. So this is API, multi-tenant, customization, and performance. So starting with the interactive dashboards, what you can do is with drag and drop, code-free interactions, and bench of analytical functions, QuickSight enables you to build these interactive analytic experience you want from your data. The dashboard can be consumed through your desktop browser, a tablet, or a phone. We then have our suite of our ML-powered capabilities. So what I mentioned about referencing a little bit later. So this includes our different auto narratives, ML predictions, anomaly detection, forecasting, along with Q to help with automating those insights generated and empower BI users. So the really hot topic right now, and if you are familiar with just recent announcements going on right now, is specifically within our Amazon QuickSight Q and it pushing the boundaries of BI with our ML-powered natural language queries. So if we're looking at this, QuickSight's mission was to make it easier for end users to gain value from data quickly and with ease without having to go back to IT or tech teams for answers to questions. So with Amazon QuickSight Q, this enabled everyday users to ask questions on their data in plain English. QuickSight's ML models interpret those questions and being able to come back with the intent for visualizations to answer those questions. So you can see on the screen right now, for example, being able to ask questions like, what is the week over week revenue difference? And so we're able to see what that trend line looks like over weeks. And then from there, we're even able to add forecasting capabilities. So show me a forecast of orders for New York by month. And so here you've been able to add that forecasting capability. And then lastly, where we see on the last screenshot, being able to ask why questions. So why did sales go up in January? And you can see what are the specific key drivers there. So we can see an account manager was a huge driver. So sales from Caroline Ware decreased by 100%. So maybe she ended up leaving the company and is working elsewhere. And so now we see, all right, sales have gone significantly down because this used to be our like rock star seller. And so now with her no longer being there, it might have led to those changes. We can also see maybe decrease of sales in country, right in the United States. Maybe something is happening within the economy itself, and that's why it's causing a huge decrease in sales there. And so this allows you to just understand what's happening and the changes within the data and what might be the contributing factors to it. And so I kind of hinted at this a little bit earlier, but if anyone was paying attention to recent announcements, as of September 28th of last week, you're now able to try generative BI capabilities in preview to build out different visualizations and calculations and refine those visuals using natural language inference of Amazon QuickSight Q. So this is part of our first wave of generative BI capabilities. So if you were there for our 2023 AWS New York Summit, no worries if you're not. I am giving you the lowdown now, and that we are introducing a lot of new generative BI capabilities, which may include stories, as well as being able to build out calculated functions, as well as being able to enhance that QuickSight Q experience of being able to, for example, if you're asking questions, being able to then further ask, being like, oh, did you actually mean this when you were asking this question? And then providing visualizations based off of that. And so this was part of, yeah, our first wave, as we mentioned. And so, which is built on our early AI innovations that we had of Q that you saw on the previous slide. But with our new generative BI capabilities, this is actually powered by Amazon Bedrock. So if anybody's gotten a chance to preview or test out those pieces, it's our large language models, and which is securely retained within our AWS environment. And so if you have more questions about this, specifically within our generative BI capabilities, we actually had a release of a video on our YouTube page. So one of these learning sessions by our principal SA Srikanth, and he gave a video within our last learning series. Now diving into our third piece that is involved with being able to utilize QuickSight. And so for an example, we have paginated reports in the cloud. And so this enables you to deliver highly formatted reports within scale, within your users, within your user's inbox. Reports can be scheduled for delivery as PDF or CSV, and now recently Excel as well. And that was an announcement that just happened within the last month or so. And so really exciting, and it contains and keeps that Excel format. Paginated reports can help depreciate legacy reporting systems and consolidate dashboards and reporting use cases cost effectively. And so users can view the same source of truth across dashboards and reports and don't have to decide between them. So with this unified author experience, there's no need for new learning. These paginated reports are serverless, auto-scaled like the rest of QuickSight, so it requires no infrastructure or software management. And so with that, it has a pay for usage and consumption-based model, and an auto archival up to 1 year. So you don't have to saddle up with the expensive multi-year contracts for products you don't use. And now getting into kind of our last section, which is, I believe, my favorite part about QuickSight, and it's how much you can end up customizing and being able to embed these applications into each of your websites, and the different variation functions of how you can do this. So everyday users spend most of their time in business or operation applications, including vendor applications. And instead of having them switch from their apps into a separate BI tool, to increase time to value, QuickSight can actually deliver these insights directly in your user's workflow. And so you're able to embed dashboards, but also individual visuals into your portals. And there's different ways of being able to do that. You could use our simple one-click capability, which makes it really easy to grab the iframe and be able to embed that application. And then there's also the capability of being able to take advantage of our APIs, and specifically our new SDK 2.0 that allows for a lot more interactivity within your application into your dashboard. And so for an example, you can have, for example, functions or filters outside and be able to pass parameters to be able to have that interact with your dashboard. And so making it almost seem like the dashboard's completely a part of your application. And being able to embed it not only just helps with, as we mentioned, being able to increase that time to value of directly being able to deliver those insights within the application, but also helps organizations save costs and drive efficiencies through turning that data into revenue by being able to embed these data-driven insights not only for their internal-facing applications, but also for their customer-facing applications, and being able to build net new data products. And so, for example, being able to value add products and applications. So you can be able to create different kind of product differentiations and be able to allow different customers to utilize things that meet according to what their needs are. And so being able to monetize on this, as well as being able to unlock different other capabilities, such as with our QuickSight public and anonymous embedding capabilities. So that also adds another piece where you can do user-based registered embedding versus your anonymous and public-based. And what that differentiates and makes a difference of is how people are accessing this information. So when you're making it anonymous, it is making it possible for everyone to be able to view and be able to see the information there, versus when you are doing user-based embedding, that means that you are connecting it to individual users who are registered to QuickSight, and so you're able to track the activity that is happening within each of those individual users. Versus for anonymous, you're making it publicly available for all. But this really just drives awareness, engagement at a larger scale. And so being able to unlock that potential of just having it fully available for everyone to see detailed information that you want to make available. And then, as we mentioned, yeah, being able to make it a new product offering, so you can, as well as like allow label and deliver QuickSight dashboards to customers, leveraging the data that you already know. So with the pay-as-you-go model and being serverless, it just makes it a lot more easier, and you can kind of build out these new data products within your own application to make available for others. And so this leads into kind of what the goal is for your companies, and that's to grow that profit wedge, which is the difference between your revenue and your cost. And so on top, you need to increase the revenue via more values to your customers. And this is either a new product in revenue streams or a way to differentiate your existing solutions to drive more revenue. And so the question is how to innovate and experiment quickly within a minimal of risk failure. On the bottom, you can see that we have decreased costs. And this is particularly important, I think, especially in 2023, where it's with a very uncertain economic state. Your CFO might want to reduce the risk and make sure that costs are flexible as much as possible, and being able to avoid that. And so what we're able to do is instead increase revenue by being able to, yeah, monetize on these products, as well as being able to only pay for what is being utilized. And so a great way of just seeing how that's done is by seeing what our customers have done. So for an example, these are just three customers that I just pulled information from that would be really helpful of just understanding how they're utilizing it. And so we can start first with Capital One. They use QuickSight to enable self-service, govern analytics on top of their data warehouse, and then as well as being in their data lake to perform risk analysis, market research, fraud analysis, and anomaly detection. They've also embedded this dashboard into a dozen internal and external facing applications and products. We then have as well, I think I put Best Western up here. And so being able to see real time about different hotel revenue, being able to do property owner management, and being able to see different metrics about booking patterns as well as like occupancy data, and just makes it really easy for them to determine, all right, what are the current trends when it comes to booking hotels, or as well as being able for rooms specifically, as well as user experience, tracking the data of, for an example, what historical users maybe in the reservation notes, what they really want to make sure is, I want 3 fluffy pillows. And so you're able to kind of keep that information and record it and be able to see those details. And so for an example, if maybe that user again decides to visit and come, you can make sure being like, oh, I see historically this is how they registered, and be able to kind of set up different loyalty programs of counting how many times they visited, as well as being able to meet according to their necessary needs. From there, I think our last one, and probably I think everyone's like really excited favorite one, is the NFL Next Gen Stats. And so this is where, as you've seen, probably different detailed information about being able to see the performance of different team members. If you've also been kind of, at least for myself, I know I'm a huge Taylor Swift fan, and so I've definitely been watching more of the Chiefs game. And so, and I don't know if you guys have seen any of the recent kind of announcements, and so you can see maybe even here saying that maybe Travis Kelce performing a lot better within his recent games since Taylor Swift is visiting. And so being able to maybe ask different questions using QuickSight Q, as well as just looking at the data within QuickSight and being able to see how these different football players are performing, and how and being able to have this next gen stats while watching the games, because you're of course watching it for the game, not for Taylor Swift. And so with that, I'm gonna kind of dive into the demo piece and be able to show and go through the new functionality that we do have within QuickSight. So I'll stop sharing this screen and move. All right, can everyone see this screen? I think so. But with that, so I think this is, if you're unfamiliar with QuickSight, and I think this is intended to be an overview to give you an example of understanding the full capabilities of what exists within QuickSight, as well as getting a quick demo of seeing what's available and what you can do. And so in this one, as you can see, we have our Demo Central website. So for those of you, and maybe I'll quickly step away from this and just go to our main page, as you can see here. So with this, you can see we have welcome to our QuickSight Demo Central website. And this allows you to see all the different types of sample dashboards that have been created, not only by QuickSight essays, but also some PMs, and even in some of our data visualization challenges that we've had with partners of different examples of what other people have built. And this is publicly available for everyone to access. So if you decide to search in the search bar of democentral.learnquicksite.online, you'll be able to access this to yourself. And so reason why I wanted to just demo and showcase it from here to make it a bit easier for all of you if you decide that you want to play around with the different features and capabilities. And so as you can see, you can take a site tour, you can view the different dashboards, so you can explore functionality here. But what I really do enjoy is being able to kind of go into our I don't know why I'm forgetting phrasing, but yeah, selecting and going into our dashboard demos, but I'm specifically going to go in our SQ1 and go into automotive insights. It's my favorite dashboard that we have available on our Demo Central website, but take the time to also look at many more other ones because there are quite a few really great ones that exist and are here. This is a fictitious company, as you can tell. It's called QuickSight Motors. So yeah, we decided to start up our own motor company. But if you look into this, we have a bit of our sales insights information. So this introduces and shows what the potential capabilities of what you can build out and what you can see. So you can include logos, so you can include your own personal images and content. You can write out different auto narratives. And so this is something that was briefly mentioned when we were talking about the different ML capabilities that do exist within QuickSight. And for this, it's able to be able to write out information in plain English and have it be able to dynamically change as well. So you can see total sales for March in 2023 increased by 104%. So quite a huge, large growth. But if we wanted to look at maybe specific to certain segments, so if I wanted to, maybe we just want to only look at large vehicles, just have a big family now. I want to look specifically at large vehicles and be able to see what it looks like when it comes to this segment. And so we can see it's actually been an increase of 103. And we maybe want to look at specific regions. So living in the Americas right now for myself, I'm looking at to see what does the data look like for increase in car sales, as well as just being able to see general information. So we can see what car sales have looked like over the year. So SUVs have been really big, especially in throughout the past 5 years. But I guess we can see in 2022 a huge increase in SUVs during that time. And as well as we're able to see also have different KPI metrics where month over month orders, look at year over year orders, as well as year over year sales, and be able to take advantage of building out a Sankey chart, being able to create pie graphs, as well as other KPI type metrics. And so being able to create a wide variety of different insights. And we can even drill down into looking at the different details that exist here too. So we can see all of our car sales and information related to that and see how our different filters have translated across multiple different. And so we're able to look at specifically with our segment of large, being able to look at all the different car sales that exist regarding along those lines. We can even look at different sales reporting. So we can look at, for example, if I want to just select all and clear out these pieces, and yeah, select all subregions, we can have it where we can look at make of model view, we can look at country view, and so being able to toggle between the different types of pivot table options. We've even announced recently the being able to kind of consolidate each of these pivot tables. So for example, making it a bit easier. So if you wanted to, for example, instead of having it where it's next to it, you can actually make it a bit more condensed down just to save room and space. It makes it a lot more easier. We can also look at the cool capabilities of our recall detailed information. So here you can see if we want to select a specific model, here we have this image. Sorry, I don't have, so just we can cover that piece. So we can see here we have this image and we're able to overlay these different KPIs. And so what this allows you to do is you can actually toggle between these results. So in 2023, we can see the number of airbags recalled were 9 in total, making it really easy to just see, all right, we're comparing, making different changes, being able to see how this data has affected over the specific years. And so probably not the best year to maybe buy a car because we had 9 airbag recalls during that time, specifically from Quick Motors. And we can see also just other detailed information about kind of recalls regarding the airbag structures. We can see the descriptions and then different initiatives related to it. And so there, we can also take a look at how we can select these different models. I think, yeah, seeing the electric vehicle demand and the increase of that. So for an example, we can see a specific growth in electric vehicles, especially in SUVs, because that's where we released our product into. We can see also where those sales are existing. So commonly in the SF and as well as like Los Angeles, we can see in major big cities. Probably effective for if you're using rideshare applications. It helps with maybe in big cities of being able to provide those, and so a little bit makes sense why there's been a huge growth maybe in those areas. And so different insights that you can take away from the data that does exist within your application. And then lastly, you can also do different monthly summary reports. And so this is where we were able to schedule for a report to function. And I have already kind of downloaded that schedule report for you. And so here we're able to create this paginated report. So very highly structured report where we're able to include this header and be able to create different page breaks. And as you can see, a list of multi-sheets regarding all the data available on specific details related to our car sales for the few years. And so just giving a little bit more detailed information and being able to see those different breakdowns and being able to email out those reports in a paginated fashion. And so other cool capabilities that are available within the Demo Central website, so everyone is aware of. So if you decide that you want to kind of be able to toggle around and see how this was built for and being able to build out different visualizations and graph, you can actually go to this left corner and be able to click on this pencil icon. So clicking here on this pencil icon, we're actually able to load a temporary copy of our dashboards analysis. And so while this is loading, we're able to see the console view of QuickSight. And so this is also another piece of what you can embed into QuickSight. So with the different embedding capabilities of what's available, how you're able to embed a regular dashboard, you can embed a visual, you can embed the Q search bar as you saw earlier, and then in addition, you can also embed the console experience. And so for the console experience, this allows us to look at this information and you're able to, for an example, see how was this built? So we can look into our field wells and we can see, oh, the access so order date was created. Maybe I want to actually look at the aggregation based off of quarter. And so we're able to see what that trend line looks like based off of each quarter. But maybe I want to even change this even further and I want to aggregate this based off of a year. Oh, wait, looks like I don't have enough data for that. And so maybe we just stick with week and we can see kind of detailed information of how that kind of increases over time and decreases at certain stages. We can also change the different values. So we're looking at sales sum. We can also look at other information. So maybe instead of sales, I want to see like profit instead. So what we can do is we can actually replace this. And now I'm just seeing what the profit looks like over the years. So probably pretty similar because sales give us profit, but a helpful area of just being able to look into seeing what that increase is and along those lines. This makes it also really easy for just being able to build and create these on your own. So if you wanted to create a sheet, and this is what shows that unified experience of being able to, for an example, we can select a new interactive sheet, or we can select a paginated report. And so being able to toggle between these two options this allows us to, in particular, be able to select what do we want to create and have that same unified experience of being able to select those different field wells, being able to create the same visualizations through it, and so on and so forth. So I'm going to go ahead and just create a interactive sheet. And so I'm just going to click add. And here this allows me to just start building immediately. And what we see here already listed, it shows autograph. And so for those of you who may not be familiar with this, is that what this allows us to do is we can kind of create a visualization or appropriate chart. So based off the information that I give. So if I, for example, maybe I want to just look at fuel types, it immediately thinks like, oh, like they probably want to look at the type of fuel types in a bar chart. And so it automatically created this. And this helps with answering, I believe, like the first question that came about within the community Q&A area section, which is talking about best practices when it comes to building out your first dashboard. And this can be, I think it's really dependent on, for example, of like looking for what specific area. So if you're looking for embedding, or if you're looking for paginated reports, or if you're looking for, yeah, for example, interactive dashboards. But generally, if you're looking for different little shortcuts or those like some quick things to be able to do, I think one of those is, for example, being able to take advantage of autographs, where it's like really cool being able to just provide that information, those visuals. And then, for example, if I decide to like, maybe I add just another visualization and I just want to look at order date information, here we can see like, look, it created a line chart for us, and I can change the aggregation to make it a bit cleaner. Maybe I'll just do quarter. Kind of looks like shark teeth. So maybe I just do month instead. And we're able to see kind of the general trend lines of what that looks like. From here, what makes it really easy is by selecting this option, another like shortcut of what we can do is look at insights. So here are suggested insights based off of the visualizations I've already created here. So here you can see we have count of records by fuel type, and then we also have count of records by order date. And so what I can do is I can actually add this information into my dashboard, and here, look at, it's already available, and it makes it really easy. And I can add filters, and these will dynamically change because these are added insights and auto narratives of being able to write out that information. And there's many more that we can select from. Like for an example, if I wanted to include forecasting as well as like lowest month, month over month, and you can even take advantage of utilizing different themes. I think I can't do it directly from here, but you can change the type of like free-form layout. So right now it shows as tiled format. So if you remember where the layout's tiled, but I can even do free-form layout here. And by being able to do free-form, that allows me to overlay visuals on top of each other. And so just really taking advantage of learning the different ways. And I think a lot of times QuickSight is just very intuitive, and that was the intention of building out this, the way that this dashboard and this product was built was to make it really easy to just immediately get started. And so by being able to just build out different visualizations, by having that autograph, being able to take advantage of different formatting, visual content, and being able to do things along those lines. But I think really good shortcuts of being able to just already start building and getting an understanding on for your data is just selecting different columns and using the autograph and seeing what comes up and about from it. And you can also, of course, always change this. So for an example, if I want to change this visualization into a donut chart, easy, can do that. And so being able to just make these different changes, you can do it very quickly on the fly.